What's up? I'm gonna do some trade recaps, I guess, and then I guess talk about my mindset. So, I'm gonna recap Warner Bros. And then I'm gonna recap this again, and then I'm gonna recap this. So basically three trade recaps. So, let's start with BBW. I sold this at 68, and I did already recap this, but I did want to point out that I sold too early. I sold here, and I got scared that I would immediately pull back, but pullbacks aren't. I mean, there have been days like this, but I wouldn't say it's super common, and I should have seen this momentum, and I should have just wrote it out, and then I should have sold like here. Like whenever I saw momentum fading, I should have just sold. But momentum was not fading here, and I was watching it too closely, and I did miss out on some profits. So that is something that I wanted to point out. And then Warner Bros. I did get lucky on this trade, but I feel like I got my exit a lot better because I sold at 88.55. I saw it gap up and 88.55, and I was like, this was a big move. I did not sell it this day. I sold it the next day because, I mean, I could have waited, I guess, a little bit longer, and I could have been like, okay, it's consolidating now. I can sell, right? Before the next move, whether up or down, right? If that makes any sense. But I did sell at 88.55, so I guess I got a little better exit, but I do think I should have waited a little bit. But since the uptrend was like so strong, I feel like it could have gone down a lot. So I do think it is a running theme, which I am going to make notes, mistakes that I'm doing. So running theme is exiting too early, being too fearful, which I guess is literally the opposite, I would say, that most people have. Like, oops. I feel like they literally get too greedy up in here, and I'm too fearful for some reason, which is very odd. But yeah, I do not want to exit too early, being too fearful. I need to wait for consolidation before I exit, so I get the full movement. I don't want to time a top, and I don't want to time a bottom. I just want to time the actual move, if that makes any sense. And I would say the move for Warner Bros. Is over, so I should have sold then. If that makes any sense. The next trade is Oklo. Yeah. So I bought in at 90, and then I sold at 94 because I saw this consolidation, and I was like, oh, I guess I captured this move. And then today it went up a lot. This trade, I guess I really didn't have a good game plan. I think I should have entered earlier, and the fact that I entered so late, it didn't give me enough wiggle room as I wanted. I was kind of waiting until it cleared this high, but then I was gonna buy in like at 86, 87, but I bought in at 90 because I guess I just wasn't around when it basically cleared these highs, and then it consolidated, and the FOMC started scaring me, so I just cut out of my risky positions, and this is definitely a more risky stock. I don't think there's anything else to say about it besides maybe I was too bearish. I mean, I was definitely kind of wrong about the FOMC because I thought it would start a new downtrend, but it did not do that. I mean, there was a wick down. It was kind of interesting, honestly. Is this today? I think it is today. So yeah, this is the FOMC. Yeah, so the initial uptrend, then you liquidate all your longs, then you go back up, I guess, for the sustained uptrend. And I did see, I don't really know what happened here because I was bearish in the sense that I would start a downtrend, But I think a lot of people just like leveraged long up here or something like that, or maybe like over here we had a lot of leveraged longs. We liquidated them. Maybe there's a lot of like leveraged shorts, and then we liquidated them. I think it's kind of hard to see sentiment from, like, it's kind of hard to see sentiment and then positioning. So yeah. I mean, I feel like it was obvious that it would initially go down, but I guess it recovered pretty well. And now today's, I guess, a good day for this market. Yeah. So I really do expect a pullback, but I don't know. Like I don't think I have enough patience to wait for one, kind of. Um, yeah, so I'm trying to pick stocks where like the stop is pretty high, and if it even gets to my stop, like basically the entire trend is like my whole idea is broken, if that makes any sense. Because I did enter this trade, and basically for this trade, like I don't really know how to draw the trend lines, I guess, but like take this. This is like the range high, I guess here. This would be another range. I would consider this a range high, honestly. I guess I'll move this up down like here. So like you have this range high, you have this range high. This isn't true for this. I think it is true for this though. It's like you have like all of these range highs, right? And then you have the move to the next range, and none of these wicks down, like none of these low wicks touch the previous range high, if that makes any sense. And the ranges are getting more and more steep, if that makes any sense. So the stock is just kind of going like this is like a terrible drawing. How do I get rid of this? But it's like a crescent shape. It's like a quarter of a circle. Like you start oh my god, bro. I don't know why it's being all snappy. It's actually kind of pissing me. But you start here, then the uptrend like gets more and more and more and more steep. So this is kind of what I'm seeing, and it's not super volatile to the downside, so none of these wicks are going into the previous range. So then I just buy in here, and I was like, okay, maybe we can be going to the next range. And there were some insider buying, like consistent insider buying. So I think this is a pretty safe bet for me to be in the meantime. Although I might not should be trading stocks, I don't know. Because right now, some of my positions are not working out too well for me. Like Uber, I'm down a little bit on because I literally bought at the top. And now it's back in this range. This seems like a liquidity grab, but I'm not entirely sure if it actually was, just because this down wick is because of news. So I think maybe we can go back up, at least as long as we don't wick below the previous low right here, then I'm fine, honestly. So yeah, I am gonna remove Oak. Actually, I need to have two stock sections, like one is like immediately looking at, and one's like a back burner. But yeah, this stock I saw insiders buy, and I don't know. I'm just looking at it to see, because this move kind of reminds me of this move, and then it immediately recovered, but I don't really want to be catching a falling knife, although the insiders did buy around like $7, so I thought that was a little bit curious, and I guess we'll see what happens. Costco, just looking at this one also. This one I'm also just looking at. Snapchat went up. Yeah, it would have been up if I bought it, but again, the overall trend is down, so I really don't want to touch it. But yeah, I guess that's about it for my stock positions. I really do feel like, um, I mean, my whole idea is maybe that this diamond top will like fake out to the upside, and then we get to 5100, then we go to the downside for a longer drop, then we make our euphoric run up. That's just kind of my idea, but we'll see if it plays out, because one of the rules, I guess this is mostly true for Ethereum, but most people lose. Everyone loses on Ethereum, right? Like, I knew a bunch of people like in this area right here. Like in this area, bro, like they literally held here, they held here, they held here, they held here. Then they literally sold at the, like they literally sold like here or here or here, right? They literally like sold at this bottom, right? And that was like such a like this was like a very capitulatory play. You know what I mean? Like just capitulate everyone, then have this huge run up. But the thing is, like, people were shitting on Ethereum here, people were shitting on Ethereum here, people were shitting on Ethereum here, people were crazy shitting on Ethereum here. But here, you really have people praising Ethereum up here. And I mean, the thing is, like, during this downtrend, a lot of people were hating on Ethereum and any of these like consolidations before the next leg down. So it's like, obviously, we can have a run up, but when everyone is loving, like, not everyone's loving Ethereum, but it's like, I would say 70-80% of people loving it. So I really do think we're gonna have a shakeout before another like huge run up, but I could be mistaken, honestly. But the thing is, majority of people lose, and I kind of go by that philosophy, especially when predicting like crypto movements. And I really do feel like this is a way for most of people to lose. Just my idea though, because you have a lot of people who are bullish here, and you have a lot of people who are also trying to buy back in like at 4K or something like that. So I really do think a move up just to shake out the people who are trying to buy at 4K. So when we go to 5100, everyone thinks that that 6K, 7K, whatever, right? Then the people who are waiting to buy at 4K buy in at 5100. Then we actually have our wick down to like 3800, 3600, 3400, somewhere around there. Then we have our euphoric run, and this drop shakes out a lot of the weak holders, like the people who bought up here who were wanting to buy at 4K, or the people who don't really believe in Ethereum, stuff like that. I really do think it's the way to make most of the people lose money, like, because like what if we just go in our uptrend, like we just go to 6K from here. The thing is, there's a bunch of people who are bullish on Ethereum now. Like 70% of people, I would say, are bullish on Ethereum. Sure, there are some bears, right? But I don't think it's majority bearish, right? Like if we're talking about here, like people are saying Ethereum was going to drop below 1,000, right? I was preparing myself for a sub 1,000 Ethereum, right? But it didn't go to a sub 1,000. It started on a rally to 4.5K. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, people are pretty bullish up here, and so there are some people who are bearish up here. So I really do think this type of movement would catch most of people off guard and liquidate the most people. Just my opinion though. Just my opinion. I could be wrong, and we could just immediately run up. But it's like I even look at the stock market, and I don't know, like we've been extended from this bull market support band for a while. It kind of reminds me of like this, but it's like eventually, we touch it, right? Like we usually like if you look at the SPY, like it usually has corrections, right? A bunch of them, right? like every few months there's always a correction, and you look at this and you're like, all right, there have been some corrections, but look about recent. Our last correction was like I guess early September. I guess I don't know, early September, and we're in late September. I really do think maybe sometime in October. I don't track this by, so I don't really know, but it wouldn't surprise me if we went back to like 6,200. I feel like maybe like some type of scare like that before we go on some huge run up. I don't really know. Yeah, but definitely my stock positions really haven't been working out for me. Despite that, I opened up a new position. I don't think I'm revenge trading. I think my logic for this new position is smart. I think Uber, I just got burned on the news. I think Oklo, I misplayed that because I was too scared the FOMC would start a new downtrend, so I de-risk. But I do think maybe more people de-risk than I thought, because like looking back at Oklo, maybe these 2 days were people de-risking. Now everyone's back on risk after what Jerome Powell said. I don't really know, honestly, but yeah, definitely very interesting. United Healthcare is down. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if like I'm almost at my stop loss, honestly. I don't really like the second I bought it started a new downtrend, but this could just be like a pullback before another run up, so I guess we'll see. Yeah, very very interesting. I didn't really expect this to do that, but I guess anything's possible. Cause like you look at I don't really know which one's healthcare. Yeah, like the thing is like I really did consider this all of this area like some basing, and then we went up to the bull market support band, and now we've just been consolidating there. I really thought this would like just do another leg up, like right here, like something like this. Like this has kind of been my whole idea, but healthcare I guess has been in a steady downtrend. But this really does look like a good basing pattern. You test these lows, then you bounce off of them pretty hard. Now you're above the bull market support band. Now you make another higher high. Yeah. I guess there is this I mean, I don't know which way we should. I guess this is a bad trend line. Bro, trading view is so fucking ass, bro. I actually hate this app. Yeah, I mean, okay, I can kind of see why it dropped, because this trend line, I guess, kicked it down. Now we're consolidating more. Maybe we'll test it again, go down, then maybe we'll break out. Who knows, honestly, but I do think, like the thing is, like, you have a strong basing pattern right here. You're above the bull market support band. Like, this trend line isn't shit. I just drew this trend line, right? Now, obviously, it sold off here, but it's going to break it eventually. And the reason why it didn't here is because, what is this? You make another lower low, lower low, lower low. Then you bounce off of that. You make a higher high from a lower low, right? Then you bounce on the bull market support band for a while. Then this trend line, okay, kind of makes sense why it knocks it back down. But here you have this very strong basing pattern. Then you go up. Honestly, I'm like looking at the healthcare sector, I'm pretty bullish on United Healthcare. Like, I do think like it's pretty much priming itself for another run up, but we'll see, honestly. Yeah, gold's doing good. Palladium is just doing whatever, I guess. I am pretty bullish on it, Palladium, though I am even on my position right now, but yeah, that's that. Palladium is kind of going a little bit slower. I might sell my Palladium whenever Ethereum drops, but we'll see. Yeah, I might actually sell my Palladium pretty soon, because it looks like we got rejected close to these highs again, and then we went back down. Now we might be going up. I don't really know what Palladium's doing, But I guess whenever it clears these highs again, I think the run up would actually happen. So maybe I bought in a little too early. Yeah, but the thing is, I just really want to have a lot of money for Ethereum. And when Ethereum tanks, I think it might tank with the stock market. So I don't want to be overexposed to the stock market. I think gold would be fine if I was holding it. Maybe palladium. I'm not 100% sure, but that's why I'm like, I literally have my stop for this at 43 and I buy in at 45. So that's like a 5% loss that I'm willing to take. But when Ethereum drops, I think it's going to drop like 30%, if that makes any sense. So I do have a little bit of downside risk, but I don't think it's, I think like there is some upside potential also, since I do think Ethereum is going to sweep 5100 and then drop. But yeah, that's just kind of my opinions. Things haven't been working out super well for me, but the month hasn't been terrible, and I do think I just need to learn from my mistakes, learn from my wins also, see what I'm doing right, see what I'm doing wrong, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the video, and thanks for watching.